prioritizing VPK programs to leverage the coordinated screening and progress monitoring programs established in this bill. We will be able to identify emergent literacy and mathematics skills deficiencies. This will allow us to provide intensive, personalized interventions for students who are at risk of falling behind. The bill establishes a timeline for phasing in a new VPK accountability system based not on one performance metric, but instead includes outcomes, learning gains, and observations of child-teacher interactions. And we'll continue to build off the new VPK to 3 progress monitoring tool, and HB 711 will extend that tool all the way to grade 8. And this bill implements a statewide screening and progress monitoring tool for grades VPK through 8 to understand the students' academic deficiencies in real time and to be able to identify personalized interventions for students struggling in reading, math, and in other subjects. The system will also monitor the impact of interventions to provide additional support to keep students on track and growing at grade level. Providing this data in real time will allow teachers to provide necessary and immediate interventions instead of waiting until it's too late. The bill also establishes Reading Achievement Initiative for Scholastic Excellence Program, RAISE. The RAISE program establishes a coordinated system of regional literacy support teams to go into communities and provide pivotal reading supports where necessary. The RAISE program will also recruit top high school students to volunteer with high-need schools to help K through 3 struggling readers gain these vital reading skills. Initiative, yeah, it's good. Initiative will not only benefit the students who need it most, but provide high schoolers with the unique opportunity to profoundly impact others while gaining volunteer hours towards Bright Future scholarships. So in Florida, we equip our students and teachers with every resource available to ensure student success. I want to thank the representatives here as well as our senators. So I want to commend you on the baby being very well behaved, because I can tell you if we had our 13-month-old, she'd be all over the place. But I think these are bills that are really going to make an impact, and I think these are major sweeping reforms, and I'm proud to be able to sign them into law. But before I do that, we want to hear from our folks, and so do we want to hear from Erin first?
Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you so much, Governor. Thank you all for being here today. I want to thank Child Care Resources for being our host today. Child Care Resources is where I got my start. I served as a board member and then as president for 3 years back in the late 2000s and around 2009 to 2010. And really, this organization is what taught me how important early learning is. And it's been so exciting to be able to continue that work in the Florida Capitol. I want to thank Speaker Sprouse, Senator Stargell, Harrell, Leader Mayfield for their support of this. Also, Chair Latvala, the Education Committee Chair. He has just been a champion for this issue for a number of years and really let Representative Lupus and I, who is my partner in this all the way, really just run with this policy. And this policy is all about empowering parents and families and giving parents the information that they need at that critical time in a child's life to make the best decisions for their children. And I've had the opportunity to do that through the knowledge that I've gained with our newest, Sebastian, who's 5 months, but also with our 2 older children, Aleska and Gunther, who are 7 and 9, almost 8. So thank you so much, Governor DeSantis, for prioritizing this, Commissioner Corcoran. We so appreciate it. And centers like this, Child Care Resources, should be the model for centers all over our state with its NACI accreditation, and can provide meaningful, playful educational opportunities for children, age-appropriate educational opportunities for children that are critical for their success in school. And so I'm just proud to be here today and so excited that this journey of 3 years of fighting hard for this legislation has turned into a system in Florida which should be a birth to 20 continuum of education. And it's just a very exciting day. So thank you all very much for being here.
Thank you so very much for being here, and thank you, Governor DeSantis. This is amazing to have you come down here and sign this terrific piece of legislation. As Representative Grahl said, this has been a 3-year endeavor. When we have 43% of our kids not ready for kindergarten, after we spend $400 million a year on VPK, was just atrocious. So I got recruited into this. I've done a lot of work over the many, many years in reading initiatives. And really, you learn so much in pre-K that builds for kindergarten, that builds for the next 20 years of education. So you really start here, and you really have to have the skills and learning things, how to do things, that is so important. That's why we need our pre-K to really prepare kids for kindergarten. And when we looked at those numbers and saw what was happening, we said, Florida can do better. And this legislation is the first step in making sure that happens, whether it's the accountability measures, whether it is the learning gains that we're going to measure, whether it is that student teacher interaction that is so important. When you play with a little one, you're teaching as you're playing. And that's what you do here. This is so important, and I am so delighted. Long time coming. It has been a major endeavor, but we're on the right track, putting this whole continuum of learning together, pre-K through 20. This is going to be a major, major step in the right direction to continue to make Florida the #1 state for education. And we're on our march, and we are doing it right now with the direction and the guidance of our wonderful governor, Governor DeSantis. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Governor DeSantis, and I want to thank everyone for coming. There's really not a whole lot more I can say except for the fact that Senator Gail Harrell and Representative Graw, they worked really, really hard on this piece of legislation, and I know that they have worked on it for the last 3 years because I have been with Gail and with Representative Graw the whole time. We don't understand, and unless we tell people, they don't understand. Parents are your teachers, and they should also have the choice on where their kids go to school at, whether it's starting pre-kindergarten or whether it's all the way up through higher ed. And Governor DeSantis has made that a point as school choice. And you will notice in a lot of our legislation we passed this year, we are giving parents more choices on where their kids go to school and how their kids are educated. President Simpson has also made that a mission day one when committee week started, is that we are putting parents and we're putting kids first in every policy decision we make when it comes to their education. So Representative Graw, thank you so much for taking the lead on that for the early learning, and Senator Harrell, thank you for that, and Governor DeSantis, thank you for your leadership in that area. Thanks.
I have to be honest, Governor, when I was walking in today, and I think Representative Grawl felt the same way, I can't believe this day is finally here. I really cannot believe that this day is finally here, because while Representative Grawl and Senator Harrell talk about the 3 years of working this legislation through the process, what we don't talk about is the decade of work that she has done, that Senator Harrell has done, my background in early childhood, to try and bring accountability and quality to our state's VPK program. And Governor, this really begins, I can't tell you how encouraged I am to hear our governor talk about the importance of early learning, and to call out the challenge that we have with the number of children who are not ready for kindergarten, and not just identifying the problem, but saying, how do we fix it? How do we fix it? This bill, mark my words, this bill will be one of the most transformational pieces of policy, not only that was passed this year, but that has been passed in the last 2 decades in education reform in Florida. And I feel so honored to be a member of the Florida legislature when this bill will be signed by the governor today. And Representative Grawl, I am so, so honored to be your friend and colleague. Same for you, Senator Harrell. Senator Mayfield, thank you for being here. And Sebastian, thank you for helping Mommy get through this session. You are the best. But Governor, thank you for doing this today.
Well, let's make it official.
Alaska Gunther. Alaska Gunther, you guys want to come up? I'm just saying, I have some nieces here too. Nieces, you guys want to all girls, Barbara girls?
Come on, yeah. You guys make sure you get in the picture.
Come on up.
Now's your chance.
Okay, come on over.
We got everybody?
Come on over here. Stand over here. Senator Mayfield too. He's here. Over on this side, girls. Come on this side. Yeah. Look at this.
All right. We ready?
Right there.
Okay. So 7/70/11. I think it's the 4th of May, correct? Correct. All right. And I think this is John Hancock. Okay. So we have the first one is done. It's great. All right. And then now we have the next one, 419. Again. Okay, that one's good as well. Vance will get one later. What kids want one? Anybody? You want one? Okay. Who else? You want one? There you go. Anybody else? You? I think I got one more. Who wants it? Your sisters, you guys can share it, right? When you go home?
We'll make sure they all share.
You guys share. All right. Very good.
Governor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who wants this? And you guys are coming with me, right? Okay, let's do it.
Thank you so much.
I have one question.
What's your reaction to Charlie Crist announcing his run for governor, and can you commit to a run to governor?
You know, I didn't realize, it was like, what party's he going to run in this time? I mean, he's lost as a Republican, Independent, Democrat. But, I looked up, he's voting with Nancy Pelosi 100% of the time in Congress. I thought, heck, maybe he gives the Green Party a chance. He's certainly voting that way, so we'll see what happens.
Governor, can you address local governments who said they were caught off guard yesterday?
They wouldn't, because in my previous order, I said, prepare for the end of emergency operations. That was the order we did about a week and a half ago. So that was in there. We put everyone